The briefing room smelled like overconfidence and recycled air. Commander Vex'thaal of the Galactic Enforcement Division leaned back in his chair, watching the human prisoner through the one-way plasma glass. The creature sat there, hands clasped on the metal table, looking about as threatening as a Blorpian pudding cup. Small, pink, disturbingly calm. That's it. Vex'thaal's second-in-command, Officer Krell, made a clicking sound with his mandibles. That's the thing that took down 6 of our patrol units? Affirmative. Vex'thaal pulled up the damage reports on his datapad. 3 cruisers disabled. 17 officers in medical bay. 1 very angry district admiral demanding explanations. Human designation, Marcus Webb. Freelance cargo runner. Wanted for 12 counts of resisting arrest, 9 counts of assaulting an officer, and 1 very creative incident involving a fuel depot and somebody's birthday party. Krell squinted at the human. He doesn't look particularly dangerous. Neither does a singularity bomb until you arm it. Vex'thaal stood, adjusting his combat harness. Command wants a demonstration. Something about showing the new recruits why humans require special protocols. The human, Marcus Webb, smiled through the glass. Actually smiled. Like he could hear them. Which, according to the xenobiology reports, he absolutely could not. Vex'thaal ignored the uncomfortable twist in his stomach. The training yard was packed. 50 recruits from a dozen species, all eager to see what made humans so special. Vex'thaal had assembled his best tactical response team. 8 officers, full body armor, stun weapons, restraint fields, the works. This wasn't their first human encounter. They'd trained for this, they'd be fine. Probably. Marcus Webb stood in the center of the yard, hands still secured behind his back with quantum locks. He wore standard prisoner gray. No shoes, no weapons, no equipment. The restraints alone could hold a Kragath war beast. Attention! Vex'thaal's voice boomed across the yard. Today you will observe proper human containment procedures. This subject is classified as moderate threat level. Approach with caution. Maintain formation. Do not underestimate based on physical appearance. One of the recruits, a young Threxian with more enthusiasm than sense, raised a tentacle. Sir, question. Why is 1 human worth 8 officers? Marcus Webb laughed. Actually laughed. The sound echoed off the yard walls, making several recruits flinch. You want to tell them, Commander? The human's voice was casual, almost friendly. Or should I? Vex'thaal felt his scales prickle. Silence, prisoner. Oh, come on. It's the gravity thing, right? Marcus tilted his head. Nobody told them about the gravity thing. Krell stepped forward, stun rifle ready. The prisoner will not speak unless authorized. Sure. Marcus shrugged, which looked ridiculous with his hands locked behind him. Just trying to be helpful. Before things get, messy. Vex'thaal signaled his team. They moved in, perfect formation, exactly as trained. From the front, 2 flanking, 2 providing cover. Textbook approach. They'd practiced this 100 times. Marcus Webb watched them come, still smiling that unsettling smile. Final warning, human. Vex'thaal kept his voice level. Any resistance will be met with increased force. Oh, I'm not going to resist. Marcus glanced down at something on his wrist. A small band, silver-colored, almost invisible under the sleeve of his prison uniform. I'm just going to level the playing field. Or, well, unlevel it, technically speaking. The band shouldn't have been there. The scanning procedures were thorough. The restraints were rated for maximum security. Vex'thaal's stomach dropped. All units, fall back. Now, too late. Marcus Webb pressed something on the band with his thumb. Click. The world got heavier, not metaphorically. Actually, physically heavier. Vex'thaal's knees buckled. His combat harness, which weighed practically nothing in standard station gravity, suddenly felt like it was made of neutron star material. Around him, his entire tactical team hit the ground. Hard. Face first. Armor clanging. Weapons clattering away across the yard. The recruits gasped. Several tried to rush forward and immediately regretted it, collapsing into undignified heaps. Marcus Webb stood there, perfectly fine, rolling his shoulders like he was warming up for a morning jog. The quantum locks sparked once, twice, then shattered. He caught the pieces before they hit the ground. See, here's the thing about humans. Marcus walked toward Vex'thaal, who was currently discovering exactly how difficult breathing became when your ribcage weighed 3 times normal. We evolved on a death world. 1.0 gravity. You guys. He gestured at the pile of groaning officers. Most of you come from point 5, point 6 environments. Nice, comfortable places with reasonable planetary masses. He crouched down next to Vex'thaal, still talking in that maddeningly casual tone. This little beauty? He tapped the gravity band. Custom made. Cranks local gravity up to Earth standard. 1 full G. For me? Tuesday. For you? Vex'thaal tried to speak. Failed. Managed a wheeze. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Marcus stood, stretching. So, Commander, we going to talk about my ship? The one your people impounded? Because I've got a schedule to keep, and this whole arrest thing is really cutting into my delivery window. From somewhere in the pile of collapsed recruits, someone managed a weak question. How are you moving? Marcus laughed again, that same easy laugh that now sounded absolutely terrifying. Practice, kid. Lots and lots of practice. Vex'thaal had been in combat situations before. Real ones. Fighting pirates in the Outer Rim. Suppressing riots on Kelvin Prime. That memorable incident with the Vortigian smugglers and the stolen plasma cores. He'd kept his composure through all of it. This was different. This was humiliating. Marcus Webb walked between the collapsed officers like he was browsing a market stall. Casual. Unhurried. He picked up a stun rifle, examined it, then tossed it aside with a clatter. You know what's funny? Marcus continued his one-sided conversation, apparently enjoying himself. When I first left Earth, I thought everyone would be, I don't know, tougher? The great galactic community. Advanced civilizations. Surely they'd be impressive, right? He stepped over Krell, who was making sad, clicking noises into the floor. First station I visited, I watched a security officer try to arrest a drunk Phanarian. The guy was maybe half my size. The officer brought 4 backup units. 4. For one drunk idiot who could barely stand. Marcus shook his head. That's when I figured it out. You're all so fragile. Living in your comfortable habitats with your adjusted gravity and your climate controls. Vex'thaal managed to turn his head slightly. Through the crushing weight, through the screaming protest of his muscles, he could see the observation deck. The recruits who hadn't been stupid enough to rush forward were pressed against the windows, staring. Good. Let them learn. My ship. Marcus's tone shifted. Less friendly now. More businesslike. The Earthbound. Impound Bay 7. I want it released. I want my cargo manifest cleared. And I want a formal apology from whoever decided that standard arrest procedures included shooting first. Vex'thaal wheezed something that might have been a word. Sorry, didn't catch that, Commander. Marcus knelt again, leaning closer. Speak up. Can't authorize. Each word cost Vex'thaal enormous effort. Above my rank, huh? Marcus sat back on his heels, thinking. That's actually fair. Okay, revised plan. You're going to call whoever can authorize it. Right now? And they're going to do it, because the alternative is me walking out of here anyway, but with a lot more property damage and a lot less goodwill. From the observation deck, a new voice crackled through the speakers. District Admiral Korthan. Finally. Human Webb. This is District Admiral Korthan. Release my officers immediately. Marcus looked up, locating the speakers. Admiral. Good timing. Your boy Vex down here was just explaining the chain of command. So let's skip the threats and posturing. You've got something I want. I've got something you want. Specifically, your officers not spending the next week in traction. You are surrounded. This facility has 200 security personnel. In point 6 gravity. Marcus stood, spreading his arms. Bring them all. Seriously, I could use the exercise. But maybe brief them first? Explain what happens when they get within 20 meters of me with this little band active. The Admiral was silent for a long moment. When he spoke again, his tone had changed. Calculation replacing bluster. What assurance do I have that you will leave peacefully if we comply? My word. Marcus said it simply. No sarcasm. No jokes. I'm a cargo runner, Admiral. Not a fighter. I've got a shipment of Terran coffee beans that are 3 days late to Proxima Station. The penalty fees are already eating my profit margin. I just want to leave, deliver my cargo, and never see this station again. Coffee beans. The Admiral's voice dripped disbelief. All of this for coffee beans. Hey, don't knock it till you've tried it. Marcus grinned. You know what? Tell you what. I'll throw in a sample bag. Call it a peace offering. Fair warning though, caffeine hits non-humans pretty hard. Start with small doses. Vex'thaal could hear the Admiral's breathing through the speakers. Weighing options. Calculating risks. Very well. Your ship will be released. Cargo manifest cleared. You will deactivate that device, leave this facility immediately, and never return to this station. Deal. Marcus reached for the band. Wait. The Admiral's voice hardened. And you will tell me where you acquired that device. Gravity manipulation technology is restricted under Galactic Treaty 742. Marcus paused, smiled that dangerous smile. I built it, Admiral. In my workshop. From parts one bought legally at a dozen different stations. See, the thing about humanity? We're really good at taking your rules and finding the spaces in between. He pressed the band again. Click. The weight vanished. Vex'thaal gasped, sucking in air like a drowning man. Around him, officers groaned and slowly, painfully, began moving again. Krell rolled onto his back, mandibles twitching. Marcus Webb walked toward the exit. Nobody tried to stop him. At the door, he turned back, looked at the recruits still watching from the observation deck. Hey kids, free lesson. When you see a human in the field, don't assume, don't relax, and definitely don't forget where they came from. He tapped his chest. We're from the heavy world, the death world, the place where everything evolves to survive 12 times normal radiation, weather that can kill you in minutes, and predators that make your worst nightmares look cuddly. He saluted, casual and mocking. Stay safe out there. Then he was gone. Vex'thaal lay on the training yard floor, still catching his breath. Around him, officers slowly remembered how to stand. The recruits in the observation deck were completely silent. Krell managed to sit up, looking at his commander. So, that went well. Despite everything. Despite the pain and humiliation and the mountain of paperwork this would generate, Vex'thaal laughed. It hurt his ribs. He laughed anyway. Updated training protocols. He wheezed. Effective immediately. All human encounters. Minimum team of 20. Full hazard gear. And somebody find out if we can get our own gravity bands. Sir, Krell looked confused. Why would we need them? Vex'thaal pulled himself to his feet, every muscle screaming. Because next time I see Marcus Webb, I want to at least be able to stand up while he robs me. From the observation deck, one of the recruits started clapping. Slowly. Then another. Then the whole room erupted in applause. Not for the officers, for the human. Vex'thaal shook his head. Of course. Humans. They didn't just survive their death world. They made everyone else respect it. Somewhere in Impound Base 7, engines were firing up. The Earthbound, leaving station. Probably already plotting the jump to Proxima. Definitely not learning any lessons. Vex'thaal made a note in his datapad. Simple. Direct. Marcus Webb. Human. Coffee smuggler. Avoid at all costs. Then, after a moment's thought, he added one more line. Request sample of Terran coffee. For research purposes. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.